Despite how it might sound, I'm not unhappy at all to be moving. On the contrary, I'm overjoyed. This is an opportunity like nothing I've ever had, and I've been looking forward to it for years already. I'm not even sad to be leaving home. After all, I'm close enough that I could go back at any time if I really needed to, and I've never been crazy about living in Tom's River to begin with. I think more than anything, I'm just having difficulty taking everything in. The fact that I'm in a new place and everything that means. It just doesn't feel real, somehow, that this day that I've waited so long for has finally arrived. This room certainly isn't helping. Not that it's bad or unlikable, but that it's so indistinct, so bare and bright and standard. My belongings seem somewhat out of place in relation to the rest of it. Like I should have left them at the door, or even left them back at home. I tried, really I did, to get rid of everything I didn't think I'd need, to take only the essentials, and leave behind everything else I didn't feel strongly about. After all, this room is a blank canvas in the fullest sense. As long as I don't hang things from the pipes or cover more than 40% of my walls, I'm free to decorate it as I'd like, which is a lot of responsibility. Still, anything left over will fit once it all comes together. Take the Christmas lights. They're not very bright, prone to breaking, and difficult to adjust once I've put them up, but they change something about the space. Perhaps not making it any less unreal, but making it feel more like mine. That feeling is heightened, too, by the fact that I'm alone in my hall, having arrived early for a pre-orientation trip. I've barely seen anyone since I've gotten here, and with the sounds I'm making echoing through the rest of the dorm, it seems like no one else around is sharing this experience. It's so dark outside that I even feel isolated from the outside world. That is, with the exception of a glaring streetlight that just barely shines into my room, right where I'll be sleeping. Even while I'm lying down to relax, it's annoying that I can't really do anything about it if I want the curtain open. I guess I don't have total control, even in here. As always, I decide to get back to work to take my mind off it. Funny enough, that's how I got through all of last year. For at least 16 months straight, things kept building up, bringing me closer to disaster, and all I could do to avoid being completely paralyzed was to find something to keep myself busy instead. To avoid worrying about college applications, I started learning French. To stop thinking about reaching Eagle, I started a record collection. The goals I'd set for myself meant everything in the world to me during that time, and if I feared I would fail at one, I'd invent another to maintain my own self-esteem. I built myself from the ground up when all other forms of escapism were unavailable to me, and made myself into a person who was strong and self-confident enough to face the problems I most needed to solve, someone capable of fighting the endless uphill battle I never thought I'd move past. Old habits die hard, and it seems that I'm still struggling to see things differently, even in the absence of any hill to climb or struggle to overcome. After all, I'm finally transitioning. I've started on hormones, and for the first time in my life, my body isn't working against me. That was the hill all along, whether I could admit it or not, and to be looking down from the peak is a feeling I never really expected to have. I experienced the pandemic as a time of self-reflection, isolation from those around me, and forced intimacy with myself. No matter how I tried to distract myself, I couldn't escape that anything I did in the way of self-improvement ran into my unhappiness with my body, a fact which got worse every passing day. It forced me to admit to myself what I was facing, dragged me kicking and screaming out of the closet because it was still better than the alternative, and left me struggling to make sense out of things, both for my own sake and the sake of everyone I knew. I could never have imagined a future where those struggles were behind me at the time, and yet none of that has come with me here. No one in this new place recognizes how I'm feeling, or the journey it took me to get here. In a way, it's liberating to be free of the assumptions that people made at home, and to be seen for only what I've decided to share, but at the same time it's bizarre that no one sees me in my entirety. What's present on my surface is far from the full picture, and in many ways, the process that brought it about is so much more significant.
Yep. Don't you know it's not true? Are you okay with that?
I get bored being in such a small area.
Yeah, I keep thinking of this. Is that a ball of poop?
Could be.
In the end, I guess it's up to me to decide how I want to be seen. If others don't realize that there is more to me that I want to express, it's my responsibility to share it. In my room, my presentation, my personality, my taste, and everything else, I can't lose sight of what came before. It's contrary to how I felt before coming here, bringing as few possessions as possible with me and showing only the best parts of who I am. But I am quickly realizing that I can't and shouldn't leave everything behind. I'm in the process of transition in nearly every aspect of my personhood, but the parts I'm growing out of still have value to me, holding meaning for the person I was and the person I am.